Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We have been looking at the summary of what is Jnana Nishtha. Nishtha defined as what? Nitaram Sthitihi. Nitaram means always. Sthitihi, abidance. Meaning simply this, that when I need this jnanam, it should be ready there for me. Usually what happens, when I don't need it, it is there. When I actually want it because it is in a time of strife, conflict, fear, shock, suddenly something comes at me and I don't know what to do. And the jnanam somewhere, where is it? Don't know. It is somewhere deep within. It is there. But I don't have immediate access to it. And that is what we are working towards. This is the Jnana Nishtha. That when it's needed, it should be able to speak to me. So it's like going to a, what is that called? Self-defense class. So that I am able to, that when people do this, so that they are able to protect themselves if somebody comes, attacks, something like that. So here what, when the attack happens, I should be able to defend. I should be able to defend myself. But then what happens? After the attacker goes away, I get into a karate stance. Not much use. So too with Atma Jnanam, the Mahavakya speaks after the situation has come and gone and I have reacted in a very big way. And so Jnana Nishtha is the elimination of these slow reflexes, to access the jnanam that is already there, of all the 17 chapters, it is sitting there. But why are the reflexes slow? Because of habit, habitual orientation. It's not lack of shravanam, this is what he will tell, Lord Krishna will tell this. It's not that one has not listened, one has listened, but then the jnana prasada is still in a way slightly inhibited because it is not available to me when, where and as I want it. It becomes available either before the difficulty or after the difficulty. And so this is the antidote for that is what? Nididhyasanam. Keeping on being in that knowledge, marinating in that knowledge. Like we have given that example. What is the example? Gulab jamun. Frying in the, every jiva is a jamun. That's why both start with J. Frying in the hot oil of samsara and with the jali spoon, which is the guru, taken, rescued, and then taken into the sweet, fragrant saffron and cardamom flavored syrup. Sugar syrup, 3-string thick sugar syrup of the Shastra. And then in the beginning, what happens to the gulab jamun? It's restless, it bobs up and down. And then if you try to eat it at that time, it is just so bland and not fun. That's why a lid is put on it. You don't touch it. Overnight it has to just soak up the juices, the fragrance. And then the next day you find what happens to all the gulab jamuns? They are not floating. they have gone inside the sugar syrup. And then you take one, pop it in your mouth. The whole of it is sweet. It's not that it's little bit sweet on top and little less on the bottom. Nothing. This is Atmajnana Prasada. Staying in that knowledge, recalling it when you don't need, is the way for it to come when we do need. And that is what is the sadhana called Nididhyasanam. Nididhyasanam does not produce new knowledge. What does it do? It removes the habitual orientations, habits, because this is all a habit. Habitually, I don't feel I am Brahman. Habitually, I know I am Brahman. I have no doubts either. But habitually, I don't allow this knowledge to percolate me. I don't own up this knowledge because of certain other habits. What are those habits? Dehatma buddhi, manitvam, dambhitvam. We were seeing all this in the earlier class. So because of all this, I don't own up the knowledge. And that is why for somebody who is able to do Nididhyasanam, that is what is advised for a Jnana Yogi, for a person who has a contemplative mind, because contemplation cannot be forced. Even though to contemplate is a verb, it's not really a verb like love, we saw last night, is not a verb. Because if love is a verb, I should be able to say to somebody, please love me at 4 o'clock tomorrow. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. So contemplation is like that. And there is a catch-22. In order to contemplate, I have to already be contemplative. So there is, how are we going to overcome this? So therefore, it is something that is gradually that comes. We saw in the early part of the chapter, with the reduction of tamas and rajas and the rise of sattva. Contemplative nature naturally happens. The mind becomes tranquil, shanta, and then the body also learns to sit in one place. And then sitting in one place, one is not up to mischief. What shall I do next? One naturally revels in the Shastra, and then that slowly happens. That's why first meditation, and then the practice of meditation with the Atmajnanam slowly turns into the practice of contemplation. So this is the contemplative yogi, and the lakshana of the contemplative yogi is being discussed. So continuing, verse 53. Ahankaram balam darpam, kamam krodham parigraham, vimucya nirmama shantaha, brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So, how to Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, a very funny verb. Kalpate means gets ready, kalp, to craft. And then Brahma Bhuyaya, very funny word, to become Brahman, gets ready to become Brahman. And all this must be in heavy apostrophes. Why? One is already Brahman. No need to become anything. In fact, the very becoming is unbecoming, nothing to become. But we have to somehow express it. And so even Bhagavan is at a loss for words. So he says, Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate, becomes ready to be to understand and reclaim this understanding that I am non-separate from Brahman. That is what she or he becomes ready to do that. When these things are not there. Ahankaram. See, I love that, the today's class was all about that, so I don't have to explain this at all. Ahankara, mamakara, both are discussed here. Ahankara it's not that I'm trying to get rid of the ahankara. Because if ahankara is gone, then who is listening? Who has jnana nishtha? So ahankara is lightened of the burden of thinking it is the body, mind, sense complex. Then only it can be quote unquote enlightened. After it is lightened of the burden and disabused of the notion of thinking that it is finite, and it is the king just of this body, mind, sense complex. And so that is what it is lightened of, so that there is room for the jnana nishtha to abide. Then balam. Balam also, physical strength becomes a great, a block to this knowledge. Why? Because of the abhimana, the identification. I am strong. Watch me. Watch me. Let me show you how strong I am. And we saw this in the story in the Chandogya Upanishad. Indra and Virochana. First, they are told to look at the Atma. Prajapati doesn't want to teach. Why? Virochana is there. He is not equipped to study this. And it says in every Upanishad practically, if there is not an adhikari, do not teach. So he just gives some casual talk and then says, you want to look at the Atma? Look at the Atma. And then there is a beautiful and a long commentary by Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara says, first he raises the question, did Prajapati mislead them by giving them the wrong teaching? Showed them the water and said, gentlemen, look at the Atma. And Adi Shankara very cleverly and beautifully argues, no, he did not mislead them, because body is indeed Atma. Atma is not the body, and they were not ready to see that yet. And so, when they saw the quote-unquote Atma in the form of the reflection, what did they do? They just went like this. Balam, strong. That strength and the identification with the physical strength. I can do so much, I can do this, I can do that. That also the balam contributes to kartritva abhimana, because based on the balam, I have this feeling I am a great karta. And without me, nothing will happen. Don't worry, without you, everything goes on. Sometimes even better than when we were there. So, so darpa we saw. Darpa means a lot of dambha, pride. Darpa is pride. Pride with regard to one's achievements. Pride because one deserves, one has done a lot of things. And other people, see, if one has done a lot of things, it should just give joy. But no, what fun is it if other people don't recognize it? Other people have to recognize it and give me, what is that? Pat on the back, shabash, wonderful, great. You are the cat's cream. But really speaking, when people give respect, more often than not, it's not to the person. Respect is given to the position, not to the person. If that same person is away from that position, nobody will even look at that person. Vartam kopina prichhati gehe. Where did we hear that? Bhaja Govindam. As long as one is strong, one is young, one is able to earn and keep up the household, then everybody, yes, wonderful, so nice, so loved and everything. And then what? Slowly the teeth go, the strength goes, hair goes, if there was hair to begin with. And then one becomes more feeble, hearing goes. Who? What? One can't hear. Hearing goes. Sight goes. Mind also slowly goes, forgetting. What it is, nobody remembers. Then, after that what? Even though living in that same house where they were before, living in a room, maybe even the same room, nobody even forget other people coming from outside and bringing one gifts and telling what a wonderful person you are. even the household members, Vartam kopi na prichhati. Even how are you, hello, they will not ask. Because as is the case with the elderly, not with every elderly person, some elderly people, if you just go and say hi, what happens? 1 hour later, they are talking to you. Because there is a certain loneliness, there's a need to be heard, there's a need to be loved, and there's a need to talk about themselves. And they have nothing to do, so they nothing other than this to do. And they often don't understand that other people are very busy, even sometimes too busy to even say hello or make the time. The youngsters just want to pop in and say hi, bye, but then the hi never becomes bye because of this situation. And so, and then what will they be reminiscing about? All the past. I was like this in my time. Back in my days, nobody could touch me. Back in my days, I won this award. Back in my days, I have this certificate. See, it is hanging on the wall. Back in my days, this is what I was known for. Back in my days, so many people came to me. Because one is not able to let go, because that is very, very important. So that is ahankara, but darpa. This is all the darpa, and the puja one does, the worship that one does to somebody, and the respect that one gives often is not for me. It is for the position that I occupy. This, if I remember, a lot of heartache is spared. For the position that I occupy. Whether it's in the office or at home or in the friend circle, there is a position I occupy. Maybe I'm an advisor, maybe I'm a teacher, maybe I'm a CEO of a company or an officer or something. So all the bouquets and all the respect comes to the officership, not to the person. Because once the person is retired, the bouquets don't follow him or her. The bouquets go to the successor. And this is what one has to remember. If one remembers that, darpa goes away. And so that is how anybody with two things. Pujya Swamiji used to always say this. Anybody comes and does namaskara, first thing one does is dedicate the namaskara to the Guru to whom it belongs, really. It's not to the person. Second thing, one can say, it is not for me, the person. It is for whatever that I represent, whether it's an official capacity or whatever it is. It is for something that is there. It is not for me because the me in me is the same as you. That's what it is. The I is the same. The I in me is the I in you. The I in he, the I in she. So therefore it is all for the position or for something that one represents. And so when we take this, what is given for the official capacity, and when we take it on, it's for me, then the heartache is even more when it is not there. And then, so that is the darpa. Then of course, this we are experts on. Kamam, krodham, kama, krodha. Everybody knows what it is. So the kama leads to krodha. That's why the two are put together. A kama that is inhibited from fulfillment leads to krodha. So kamam, krodham is together. And then that the last one is very important. Parigraha. Parigraha means hoarding. And especially in an ashram like this, every day you are getting something. And then very soon, the room will become a shop of horrors sometimes. So many things. Yeah. Just 3 days ago, I gave away 2 shawls. Okay. And it's difficult to give away orange shawls. Who to give? Think about it. So if I give it to another Swami, then they will also be having their own stack of orange shawls. So then I found some ingenious ways. I'm not going to waste the time telling what all that is here. But anyhow, I found some ingenious ways One I gave it to a Swami wannabe, and then one I gave it to somebody else, and then who liked orange color, and then I was feeling very happy. I said, oh, good. Yesterday I got 2 new shawls. Prarabdha. So, and then people have become clever. Now when people give me things, they say, you have to keep it with you at least for 6 months, at least for a year. After that you give it. I say, yes, yes. That's all. And so, this is what it is. So, if we don't watch out, the room will be full of socks, full of full of shawls, full of sweaters. I mean, if it is the winter. And so, this is the way. You just, when something comes, you give away something else. You have to. New comes. And so, you like it very much. It is new, it is brand new, it is fresh, it is wonderful. Enjoy it. Old one, you give it away. That way, everything is recycling. And one's own possessions are also a form of Lakshmi Devi, goddess of abundance. When Lakshmi loves being in circulation, she is a social butterfly. If you put her in a trunk and lock her up, put her in a cupboard and lock her up, she gets very stifled and suffocated. When she is circulating, that is when she gives the blessings of abundance. And so, when we give things away, then more will come. First of all, on a very tangible level, there is this ashvasana, there is this feeling that, okay, I'm taken care of, things will come, I'm okay. And then on the spiritual level of emotional growth and maturity, there is that wisdom. There is the wisdom that whatever I have is enough. Alam buddhi it is called. Alam buddhi is an important indicator of self-growth. Continuing. Brahma bhutah prasannatma न शोचति न काङ्क्षति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु मद्भक्तिं लभते पराम्. Concluding this portion on Jnana Nishtha, the Lord says that Samaha Sarveshu Bhuteshu. So this person gains Samatvam. Samatvam means not Samatvam Yoga Uchyate, that is Karma Yoga definition. But this is a Samatvam which we encounter in the 6th chapter. Samaloštashma Kanchanaha. Samaloštashma Kanchanaha, whether it's a clod of earth or whether it is gold and or whether it's a piece of stone, it's all the same to whom? That oneness. So here the sameness is not a sadhana, it has become the sadhya, it has become one with whatever I wanted to reach as a person with jnana nishtha. So then it is samam sarveshu bhuteshu. This is the same samatvam talked about in the 12th chapter. And also I think there was one more time where we understood, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Panditaha. Very good. Samadarshana. That Samadarshanam is being talked about here, not as a practice, but the one who has perfected the practice. It is all Jnani Lakshana. So Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Samaha, the one who has this oneness of vision, na shochati na kankshati. Na shochati, there is nothing to regret. Na kankshati, there is nothing to expect. Oh no, I have given away the shawls, when will the next one come? There is no expectation of anything, and there is no regret. And what is this person? Brahma Bhutaha, the one that has quote unquote attained oneness with Brahman. And who is that person? Prasannatma, cheerful fellow, cheerful person, not with a long face. Cheerful doesn't mean always with a smile pasted on the face either. Cheerful means the one who is able to see the humor in each situation. Because every situation is really funny. And the funniest is ourselves. What we take so seriously, and like, oh my God, I have made this, I have, become, what is that? I have contorted myself in all these situations, thinking, oh, it is like this, and what will happen now, and what will happen now, and everything. And then when I see the mithyatvam of everything, it is hilarious. The whole Jagat is hilarious. And the onlooker of the Jagat, namely myself, the joke is on me. I am the most hilarious of them all. How I trip, how I fall, how I do all this. When I am able to laugh at myself, then it is a win-win situation. When I am able to laugh at myself, nobody else laughs at me. Because they are already thinking, okay, this person is okay. So that's a very good situation. It helps the self-esteem when I am able to laugh at myself. Second benefit of being able to see the humor in every situation, and when the joke is on me, I am able to just laugh at myself and let go. I am growing as a human being. I am growing towards more and more readiness for jnana nishtha. And the third thing is that, I see the mithya. Wherever it is, I see the mithya and I call the shots. I say, okay, this is what it is. So that sense of humor is very, very important. Otherwise, it's just like this. I have just finished the 6-month course. Now I'm going home. Who wants to see that long face? Nobody. I have to be serious because now I'm Vedantin. It looks like one has had a Botox treatment if we talk like this. They inject something. Actually, it's poison. Yes, Botox is some, it's some kind of a poison. But they inject it to, why do they inject it? To get rid of, yeah. It has a medicinal value, but they have found out that it helps with the wrinkles. Yes, wrinkles. The most feared wrinkles. So, and then even the Swamis are not spared. 2 to 3 years back, a person came up to me after a public talk and gave me one dabba, one small dabba. And slowly it came to my hand. I said, what is this? Swamiji, I've been hearing you for many, many years. And you're getting a few wrinkles. So, I am a public persona, so please put this. And he's giving me what to do. 3 times a day, wash your face and put it before night and it'll be this thing. I was so stunned I could not reply. And Bhagavan is great because I was just still holding it. And then a young woman came to, are you going to be using that? She said, oh, this is very expensive. I forgot the brand. Are you going to be using that? Can I have it? I said, please take it. Gave it away. So all these things, we have to be, have that perspective of being able to laugh. Just that joy. And then when we are in joy, it is infectious. Other people are also laughing. That's the thing. And so so that is why prasannatma. And then what? Madbhaktim labhate param. Gains the bhakti for the Lord. Here bhakti, Adi Shankara quickly cancels the word bhakti, strike through and puts what? Jnanam. Yeah, see, now everybody is becoming a baby Shankara. So we are thinking how he thinks. So that is wonderful. He literally says, Param Bhakti, Bhaktim, he says, Chaturthim. When you say Chaturthim, which one? He is referring to chapter 7, 4 kinds of bhaktis, and the Jnani Bhakta, that Bhakti, Chaturthim Bhaktim Labhante, Jnana Rupam Bhaktim. He immediately corrects all this. And then, so this is the only Jnanam. Of course, Mad Bhaktim means Jnanam. Now, with all this discussion on Jnana Nishtha, the Karma Yogi is feeling sad and restless. What about me? I can't contemplate. So that means I'll never have Jnana Nishtha because I don't have the SRT disposition. What is that? Sattva, Pradhana, Rajas and Tamas. What do I have? RST or RTS or TRS. What about me? Am I left out by the Bhagavad Gita? The Lord says no. So from the 55th, is that 55th? Yeah. Yeah, from the 55th to the 62nd verse, it is all about how the Karma Yogi can also get Jnana Nishtha, not just the Jnani. It's not just that the Jnani has Jnana Nishtha, the Karma Yogi also has Jnana Nishtha. And then let us look at these verses. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva Vishate tadanantaram. Yeah, apologies. It's the next one, the Karma Yoga. This is the conclusion. Another 2 verses in conclusion. So, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Bhaktya means jnanena. Jnanena, through self-knowledge, knows me fully. How? Yavan asmi. Yaha asmi. Yavan means how much is my reach. Yavan. We have come across this word in the 2nd chapter. Yavan artha udapane sarvatas samplukotodake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanatah. Yavan means until what time. So here the same thing. So Yavan. Yavan means the extent of my reach. My means Bhagavan here talking. So the extent of my reach, and Yaha means who I am. So Yaha should have been, Yaha Asmi should have been enough. Why Yavan and Yaha both at the same time is the Bhagavad Gita having Punarak Ukti Dosha, the fallacy of redundancy. Immediately we have to say no. Why? Because Yavan is Tatastha Lakshana. Seeing Ishvara as Jagat Karanam Brahma, and that from which all the beings have come. I have to know Ishvara in 2 ways. That from which all the beings have come, that by which everything is sustained, that unto which everything collapses, resolves. This is Yavan, this much is my reach. Sagunam Brahma. I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. I am, all the 10th chapter we are supposed to recall. I am in the form of the glory in everything. Rasoham apsu kaunteya. I am the taste in the water. I am the light of the sun. I am the green in the trees. I am the wind that blows through everything. And then knowing that Bhagavan's reach is all over without any shesha. Knowing that Bhagavan is everything, everywhere, all at once. And this is that understanding. And so this is Yavan, Tatastha Lakshana, Sagunam Brahma. Brahman with form, many functions, many names. You can invoke Vayu as Devata, you can invoke Vayu as a functionary, you can invoke as a functionary of Bhagavan, you can do that so many ways. And so starting with the 5 elements, the whole universe is pervaded by Bhagavan, and this is what is, this Bhagavan is referred to here as Yavan, short form for Bhagavan. And Yaha means Satchidanandam Brahma, Satyam Jnanam Anantam, Shuddha Chaitanya, Nirgunam Brahma. So the person of knowledge, the Jnani, knows me as what? Yavan and Yaha. Yavan, Sagunam Brahma, the one whose reach is everywhere, the one who is invested with Jagat Karanatvam, etc., etc. And then Yaha means the one who is in the form of myself alone, no other form is there. The one who is the formless, nameless one, which cannot be objectified, which cannot even be talked about except through Lakshana, indirectly talked about, through indicators. Why? Because it is the self-effulgent I, which has no sorrow, no action, no name, no claim to fame. Other than that, it is everything. It is everything, Yavan. It is myself alone, Yaha. So the Jnani knows me as Sagunam and Nirgunam. The two are not in contradiction. When I know Bhagavan as Nirgunam, I know Bhagavan as myself. There is no distinction. When I know Bhagavan as Saguna, it becomes Upasya Murti, because I know this Bhagavan from the standpoint of a devotee. What kind of a devotee? Jnani Bhakta. Because both the knowledges are there simultaneously. The one who is blessed with that, Yavan Yascha Asmi. Otherwise, what do we say? Yadrishosi Mahadeva. O Mahadeva, in whatever form you are. Kidrishosi na janami. I don't know what you are. Yadrishosi Mahadeva, Tadrishaya Namo Namaha. Whoever you are, wherever you are, however you are, my Namaha to you. This is the Ajnani's prayer. The Jnani's prayer is, you are with form, and when you are with form, I am from relating to you, I am an enlightened devotee. You who is without form cannot be anything but me. Very beautiful. And then, so then this is the conclusion of that. And then tataha means after this knowledge. After means having gained this knowledge. Mam tattvato jnatva. Having gained the essence of me, knowing the essence of me. Vishate tad anantaram. Enters me. Enters me what? Then Bhagavan will have devotitis if the devotee enters Bhagavan. Enters me again. This is, Adi Shankara has 5 pages of commentary here. Many pages. Because all the objections will come from the Dvaitin, the Vishishta Dvaitin, the Ekadeshi. All these people will come. All these people will come with their objection. Enters means separation was there. And then the entry has to happen. There is no such thing here. Enters means, you see, this is a kind of a nice reversal of what is called Pravesha Shruti in the Taittiriya Upanishad. Saha akamayat, saha asrijat. This being envisioned, desired, may I be many, and then created everything. And then tadeva anupravishat. Anupravishat, entered everything. And then what? Tat abhavat, became quote unquote everything. Meaning that to show that non-separation. To show that non-separation, here the Ishvara is shown as quote unquote entering every Namarupa. Like even the sweet filling enters the pastry, entering the Namarupa and converting everything, lending its sweetness, lending its sentience, lending its presence, lending its ability to move, walk, talk, everything. That Chaitanya, as it were, pervades everything, and that pervading is called entry. Entry into what? Jagat. Does the Jagat include my Upadhi? Yes. So it enters also into the individual Upadhi. But does the person know? No. Here the person knows because they have studied 17 chapters, and so they know. And because they know, there is a re-entry. You see, this is a very beautiful thing. So, who is the one who enters? Bhagavan enters. So, the one who knows I am Bhagavan, as it were, enters Bhagavan. Before, one identified with the creation, with the body, with the mind, and so missed the entry of Bhagavan. Now that I know, I am entering the Bhagavan. So it's like when you see the delta of where the river meets the ocean, there is a kind of an optical illusion. It looks like, it's very beautiful actually. You see the river entering the ocean and you see the ocean entering the river. That is exactly what it is. Very, very nice. So that concludes the Jnana Nishtha portion. Now the left out Karma Yogi is addressed in the next verse. Verses 56 to 62. Sarva karmanyaphi sada Kurvano madhyapashrayah Matprasadadavapnoti Shashvatam padamavyayam Cetasa sarvakarmani Mayi sanyasya matparaha Buddhi yogamupashritya Matchittas satatam bhava Matchittas sarvadurgani Matprasadat tarishyasi Atha chettvamahankarat Nashroshyasi vinanksyasi Yadahankaramashritya Nayotsya iti manyase Mithyaisha vyavasayaste Prakritistvam niyoksyati All this is a summary of Karma Yoga. Very beautifully done. Sarva karmani api. Api means the Karma Yogi also. The api goes with the, not just the jnana, the one who is a jnani or the one who is a contemplative, but a contemplative yogi, but also who? The one who is a Karma Yogi. Sarva karmani api kurvanaha. The one who is doing all the jobs in the world. They are playing various roles. They are playing the roles of spouse, parent, grandparent perhaps, and they are going to office. They are taking care of the society. So many things they are doing. And then lest they not think that they are not fit for this jnanam. The Karma Yogi can also have not only jnanam, but jnana nishtha, the ability for this knowledge to bless at the time of crisis. That's what we need. So, because otherwise, even without the knowledge, in happy times one can manage, because nothing is coming in the way. It's only when grief, anger, fear strike, that's when I need recourse to this knowledge. Even with Karma Yoga, this is possible, along with Jnanam, of course. But along with Jnanam, the person is not able to completely take to a life of Jnanam. So does a lot of things, does Karma Yoga and also pursues Jnanam. What happens? So Madhyapashrayah. Does the does the karma. How? Resorting to me. Karma yoga. Resorting to me means taking me to be the karta. Acknowledging that I am the karta, and then what happens? Mat prasadat shashvatam padam avapnoti. Gains this shashvatam padam means this unchanging jnana nishtha. Avapnoti. Apnoti when? Apnoti when after some time. After some time of perfecting this, and then slowly proceeding from karma yoga to atma jnanam, and then supposing they are not studying side by side, the karma yoga itself will make them want to seek a teacher, want to find out the meaning of life, and then that is exactly how it proceeds. And then slowly they will gain, so long as they keep me in view. So chetasa, mentally, sarva karmani mai sanyasya, having given up all the karma to me, matparaha. Matparaha means I am the param for whom, I am the ultimate goal for whom. So the karma yogi may be doing many karmas, performing many roles, may be an important person in the society also, but the main goal is not the job, is not the relationship, is not some other things to achieve in life. The main goal is Bhagavan. Bhagavan becomes a goal for whom here is called Bhagavat Paraha. In other words, since Bhagavan is talking, Mat Paraha. Mat Paraha. Ahameva Paraha Yasya Saha. Mat Paraha. For I am the ultimate goal for whom. You see, this is a big flip. Usually we take Bhagavan to be a means to other goals. That's why when we go to the temple, we pray, give me this, give me that, even give me sadbuddhi, give me money, give me joy, give me fame, take away this obstacle, take away that obstacle. But here, I am not using, the Karma Yogi here is not using Bhagavan as a medium to other goals, as a stepping stone to other goals, as a supplicating Bhagavan for other goals. Bhagavan itself is the goal for whom? That is called Matparaha. So that person, what happens? Buddhi Yogam Upashritya. We saw earlier Buddhi Yoga means Karma Yoga, because that's really where one uses buddhi, I suppose. Otherwise the karma is mindless. Maybe that's what Bhagavan is trying to say. So buddhi yoga is aka also known as karma yoga. So buddhi yogam upashritya. The karma yoga is an umbrella. So it saves me from the sun of kartritvam and the rain of disappointment. So in both situations the karma yoga saves. So this karma yoga, dedicating everything to Bhagavan, seeing Bhagavan as the karta and myself just as an instrument, nimitta. That is how one grows as a karma yogi. So then mai sanyasya, then buddhi yogam upashritya, matchittaha is same as matparaha. Matchittaha satatam bhava. Mama chittam, tava chittam, anuchittam bhavatu. This is a nice prayer. Yeah. Chittam is heart. May my heart, my intentions, my plans be the same as you. So I give you my heart, and may my heart be one with yours. To Bhagavan you tell. Okay? You tell this to Bhagavan. May my heart be one with yours. May you pervade me, and may I just go with the flow. Let me not have another parallel and viparita, opposite flow. Let me go with the same flow. But how to go with the flow? First I have to find out what is the flow. That is itself the blessing of Karma Yoga. First I know the flow, then I go with the flow. Mama chittam, tava chittam, anuchittam bhavatu. And then when I pray like this, then there is a prasada, because the prayer is an action, and for that action there is a result, and Bhagavan will of course give the result for this prayer, because the sankalpa is I want to be one with what there is. I want to be one with the flow of the universe. That is something so beautiful. And Pujya Swamiji would put it this way: let there be more and more of you, O Lord, in me, as me, and less of me. Less me means what? Less complaints, less anger, less fear. More of you means more accommodation, more patience, more knowledge. Let there be. And so, Matchittam Bhava, same thing. And then Satatam means always. Not for 5 minutes I am Matchittaha, and then after that Bhagavat Chittaha, and then I am gone away from that. Satatam Bhava. Then why to be Matchittaha? Matchittaha Sarva Durgani Tarishyasi. Durga here is not Durga Lakshmi Parvati. Okay? Durgam. Durgam, Durge, Durgani. Neuter Durga. Oh, there is a neuter Durga also. Durga means Dukkhena Gacchati iti Durga. That which is difficult to reach, difficult to overcome. What is that? Difficulties in life, challenges. You see, if you go to Rajasthan and places like that, all the forts are called Durga. Difficult to reach. All the enemies would just fall into the moat and be eaten up by crocs. Yeah, eaten up by alligators. Alleys and crocs. Full of those moats would be of biting things, and then the enemies could not make it inside. Big walls, and inside a whole city. This is the citadel psychology. This is how they were warding off the enemies. That's why it is called Durga. That Durga here, Durgani Tarishyasi. Any difficulties you will swim across, you will transcend, you will cross across easily. Mat prasadat, due to my grace. And what is this grace? The grace is in the form of your own karma phala for those prayers and for those intentionality which I give as the karma phala data. You tap into the grace, which is like an aquifer. It is like an underground body of water. It is available, but I have to tap into it with my karma. Then you have a fountain of grace, never-ending grace. And so therefore the mat prasadat tarishyasi. Atha, therefore what? Atha chet, now if supposing, atha means supposing, chet tvam ahankarat. But if you don't understand this, and if the ahankara is not willing to go down, and what kind of ahankara Arjuna had? The ahankara was, I am identified with these people. Who are the people? These Drona, Bhishma Adayah. Bhishma Drona Adayah. In them, Abhimana. He had identification. He was not able to separate himself and see what they had done, not just to him, but to the whole Praja. All the people were terrorized. They were terrorists. He was not able to see his own duty. His heart was in them. And that was his ahankara. It was not like he had a lot of pride or ego in that sense. But his ego was helplessly enmeshed. His identity was enmeshed in all these people. And so there is a warning by the Lord. This is for Karma Yogi too. You also can get Jnana Nishtha. You also can be happy. You also can get over any strife, any difficulty. But yadi ahankarat, but because of this misplaced conclusion that I should not fight these people, then what will happen? Yadi ahankarat, ahankarat nashroshyasi. Shroshyasi, future tense of shru, to hear. If you don't hear these teachings, then vinakshasi, you will destroy yourself. You will become atmaha. Atmaha means swam hanti iti atmaha. Atmanam hanti. The one who kills oneself. It's like committing, it's a polite form of suicide. That even though you are alive, you haven't killed yourself, but you have destroyed yourself virtually. Why? Because you have, after listening to all this, You still say you are not convinced because those people are still me and I am in them and all these things. You are you are making a misguided decision. And further he says, Yadi yad ahankaram ashritya. He was told to what? Mad ashrito bhava. He was told. Mad vyapashrayah bhava. He was told. Take recourse and refuge in Bhagavan. But instead, if you take refuge in your own misguided ahankara, identification with this Kaurava gang, then nayotsya iti manyase. And if you think still it is not the right thing to do to fight this war, even though we have had 17 chapters in the din of the battlefield, I need a cough drop now because you have been shouting all these teachings. And still, if you are not ready for this, if you have not done this, then mithya esha vyavasayah te. Vyavasaya here means decision, nishchaya. Mithya esha vyavasaya. Mithya here doesn't mean mithya satyam. Mithya means what? False. False. It's a wrong decision. Mithya means wrong decision. Nayotsye, I will not fight if you still go, because that's what he said at the end of the the first chapter. Nayotsye iti govinda uktva tushnim babhuvah. I won't fight. And then he fell silent until, of course, he asked the next question. But then for a while he was quiet because he was despondent. So if you are still where we left you at the first chapter, even Bhagavan cannot help. Why? I am the Bhagavan, and I have been trying to get you out of this doldrum. I have been trying to lift you out of the discontent, but you are like like a rock. You are sitting there, you are not doing anything. It looks like I have not been able to cut through to you. I have not been able to come through to you. That means this would be a wrong decision. Mithya eva esha vyavasayah. Vyavasaya means what? Decision. Mithya esha vyavasayah te. Your decision would be all wrong. And then what? Prakritistvam niyokshyati. Prakritihi means this swabhava itself will take care of you. Your swabhava according to what? Gunas. You are, here I am telling you how to come out of the gunas. And how to come out of the gunas is become a devotee and gain Atmajnana. And if you are not able to do that, then you are in the hands of Maya. She will knead you like atta. Make a chapati out of you and put you in the hot tawa of samsara. That's what. She will just knead you like atta, because you have become patti in her hands. You have given yourself over to raga, dvesha, tamas, rajas, all these things. And the tamas, rajas will do this. And also, if it is part of your prarabdha to fight a war, then if you avoid this war because you used your free will, or rather Bhagavan will say you abused your free will and then you fought this war. The other way around. You refused to fight this war, and then what? You will be so restless. You can't sit and meditate, much less contemplate. You can't even sit and study. You can't have a good life. You will scratch your hands and legs, like how the dog scratches for a fight. You scratch the dirt like a ox, dog, all these animals, they scratch when they are aggressively coming. So you will itch for a fight, and then that war, because of this, because of the burden of this war which you have chosen not to fight and which you haven't resolved, weighing heavily on your mind, will lead you to fight a worse war. At least this is what? Dharmic war. Swargadwaram apavritam. Sukhinah kshatriyah partha labhante yuddham idrisham. So nobody gains this kind of a doorway to heaven. Hato va prapsyasi swargam, jitva va bhokshyase mahim. If you are killed in the war, you will go straight to heaven and enjoy. And then if you win, you will enjoy the earth, the kingdom. This is what was told. This kind of a war does not come easily. It's a dharma, it's the dharmic war. And I am telling you it's a dharmic war. And if you don't do this, then what? Then I'm myself handing you to tamas and rajas. Please take him. Take him away. I'm myself handing you to them, because all this kantha shoshanam that I have done, I have not even had a sip of water with all your questions, and so many questions I have answered. 17 and 3/4 chapter over, and you are still in the same place where I left you when in chapter 1. Alas, I have no one to pray to. Otherwise, I would have said, Namo Namaha. I don't have anybody to pray to. But if you make this decision, you will be, you will not be happy. You will just go hand over yourself to the impulses. Prakriti here means impulses. The prakrita buddhi, a buddhi that is not civilized, a buddhi given to rajas, rajoguna, tamoguna, and then you will just keep on making wrong decisions. First meaning of prakriti tvam niyokshasi. Second meaning is that if prakriti also includes prarabdha, and so if it is in your prarabdha to fight, and you have abused your free will and avoided one thing, it will come in another form. And that fight will not be so easy. That fight may not be dharmic. And that fight may accrue bad karma, which means what? To be continued again and again this life. What will Arjuna do? Let us find out tomorrow after the match. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.